It is a beautiful morning in the mountains of southern Appalachia. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful warm day. We've had some really cold days this week, but looks like spring has come back, at least for a little bit. Looks like it's going to be warmer today. So Matt and I, on our plans for today, what we're going to get done is we're going to go down at Granny's and we're going to work on her garden. And she had her birthday this week, March 6th. She was 85 years old. We're going to have her a big party tomorrow, but for today, we're going to go down there and work on her garden. It's kind of going to be our present to her. We do her garden every year, so we're going to get it all tilled up and get everything situated. I'm going to plant some onions for her, I think some radishes and some lettuce. She really loves radishes, but those onions, she'll be really excited about them. We wanted to do it on her birthday, but it was bitter cold that day. We even had a little bit of snow, little flurries that morning, and the wind has howled all week, so that didn't work out. And then the next day we had some stuff we had to do. Anyway, I'm excited to do that. I come out to the greenhouse to find me needed my clippers, take them and see if there's anything I can clip around the yard or work on while Matt's actually doing the tilling. Got my gloves, and then I was going to check on the cabbage too. Come in, entree. Welcome to my house. Rather small and see-through.
Yeah. Don't be in the drawer till we see you.
I might freeze out here at night though.
Okay.
You about to head down the hill?
I've been once.
Oh, okay.
Make another trip.
All right. Well, I'm coming. I'm going to check on the cabbage and then I'll be right there.
I'm trying to decide if I need that bucket of tools.
Thanks, Will. So the cabbage are looking great. Even the ones that were smaller, you can see how much they've grown since I up-potted them. These here are definitely big enough to plant outside. We could probably plant those too though. But they're all doing really good. All looking great. That one looks great. So that's on our agenda too for the coming days, especially if our weather holds and we don't have any more rain and have some nice days. Matt can till up here and we can get these in the ground. First thing we'll need to do is just straighten up, and I'm going to take down all those streamers, take down some of her little bean trellises her and Paul put up, get it all cleared off, and then Matt will be able to till it, and then we're going to put some old compost on top of it too. Matt would use his tractor. That'd be much easier. The gardens are not really big enough to use a tractor in. They're just little small ones. And then as far as hauling the mulch, it's on the front side of Granny's house, and there's just really no way to get the tractor from here to there. So he could go around the road, I guess, but then you'd still be hauling it from the road over here. Anyway, that's what we're going to do to get started, would be first to just clean everything off. Well, we got it looking way better than it did in the beginning.
Yeah.
Matt added some compost, or we added some compost, some from back here, some from the front that's been there for a couple of years, so that should help it. It was wood chip compost. Both of them were, weren't they, Matt? Wasn't this back here wood chips too?
Yeah.
In the beginning? Mulch,
yeah.
Wood mulch from our local lumber sawmill.
Yeah, that was, and then back yonder stuff that got mulched right there.
Oh yeah, it was tree cutters that mulched that, yeah. Anyway, looks way better. I had my yearly fight with the honeysuckle back there in the back, and Matt got it all tilled up. Now we're going to plant her some onions. We just have, I know the sunshine's so bright if you can see or not, but we just have some yellow onion buttons. Granny will eat them as green onions. Her and Paul come out here and pull them up and eat them that way. And then I brought some radishes. She loves radishes. We're not going to plant all these. This is just what I grabbed. I'll start with that one. And then maybe do her some lettuce. She really likes, I see I'm not even showing you any of this, am I? I need to do better. Let's look out in the sun though. It'll be better there. She likes black seeded Simpson, but I couldn't find any of that this morning. So I brought this one, Paris Island. I really like it. And of course it makes us think of Pap since he was a Marine. And the Butter Crunch. I'm not going to plant all these. I'm just going to pick one of them. And then some of the radishes we'll plant too, along with the onions.
I could identify whatever it is that makes you stiff and sore and get weak and reverse it.
And what?
And reverse it.
Oh, and reverse it. Well, I think it's called.
I guess it's getting old.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Old age, so they've not found the fountain of youth yet. That's making her a little bed. We're going to put some lettuce. You know, a lot of people, Granny Sue and Larry, Matt, they burn their lettuce bed first to warm up the ground.
Hey.
Yeah, like burn a little fire and then move it.
We're going to do it today.
Yeah, well, it's way too windy today, but it's interesting. A lot of people do that for different things.
Bigger?
No, that's plenty big. That's good. That's great. Looks wonderful. And some dirt. Right, it's great. When I was getting some of the old mulch over here to put on the garden, I noticed this one lone garlic. That's a garlic there, an old-timey variety. I don't know how it got right there, but I need to move it because now that I've moved all this pile, the lawnmower will definitely run over it and it'll be gone. So I'm going to dig it up and move it somewhere. I hope I didn't cut it off. No, I didn't. It's there. Now let's figure out where to put it. Matt's going to fix me a place right there to put it. That's probably good. It'll be okay. Wind. Unbelievable. There.
That ought to grow something. Did you put some good dirt on it?
We did. Matt tilled it in. We went and got some of that mulch up there and up here. We used that. So right here we planted some onions, and then in that back, the front row's all onions, and that back row, I think, yeah, in the back row is half onions and half radishes.
Oh.
And then see that mound over there? We planted lettuce there.
Oh, so I can eat lettuce and onions.
You can eat lettuce and onions, yeah.
Oh, that's
Kilt
great.
lettuce. And over there where the mulch was back here, I found a little garlic plant, and I moved it behind that one right in front of the plum tree. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I need to grow me some garlic.
Yeah. You've got some in some other places, I think. Didn't Susie give you that? Your Aunt Susie?
What,
The garlic.
no, she gave me the plum tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you started that plum tree.
I did. I started it from a sprout.
Yeah.
She pulled me up a sprout at her.
I mean, I thought you started it from a pit or a plum, whatever seed, whatever's in it.
No, I've got some seeds if you want to start you one.
No.
I saved them.
So you see all your daffodils are about to come up.
There's one down the road.
I know.
Pick them up and set them up the side of the house. Appreciate you, girl.
Happy birthday.
Oh, this is a birthday present.
Yeah, happy birthday, yeah.
That is nice. I got the cutest card in there, and it says, it's got a moose on the front of it. And it says, if I'm not moose wrong, it's your birthday.
Oh, that's cute.
It's got a moose on the front of it. It's so pretty. Hey, Ira. Hey.
All right, you want us to take you back in?
Yeah, let's get in now. This.
Oh.
Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Granny made one for him and for Woodrow.
You want to take Woodrow's?
Yeah. Woodrow chased his all over the place.
Yeah. I've got some cornfield bean seeds. And Tim said if he lives to make a garden this year, he's going to plant some cornfield bean seeds.
Yeah.
And so maybe we can get some from him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks nice. It does, don't it? It's windy. Lord have mercy, I tell you.
Nice to be out of the wind.
It is.
It's the wind has blew and blew and blew.
It's March. That's what it's
I
supposed to
know, but it's been blowing before March ever got here.
be. It started blowing in October and it ain't quit.
I think so. I think you're right.
It blowed the whole time I deer hunted. Up here behind the house. Pretty much the wrong direction.
Ruined your hunting.
Yeah, it just made it hard.
What kind of tea are you drinking?
Ginger, peppermint, and honey.
Is that good?
It is. You want some?
No.
Why?
I don't want none of your barn stall.
That's Barnstall Magnum right there.
I'll stick with my golden milk.
Gotta be tough.
So Granny's pleased with her garden, and I'm pleased too. Seems like so far, I'm going to jinx us by saying this, but it seems like so far this year everything's been easier than it was last year.
Well, we just started earlier.
And
we're not in a panic and a rush, and it ain't worrying us that we should have done it 3 or 4 weeks ago, like
well,
last year.
I guess. And then too, we're not expecting babies this year.
that we know of, then we hope.
We're not. We're not. So I think that part's, this time last year Katie was just any day, so I guess that made it different. I don't know.
It did.
It just seems like it's easier this year, so I'm so glad we got Granny's, though, took care of way ahead of schedule, like you're saying, and compared to last year. So her dirt and soil and stuff looks really good down there.
It does.
And we added that extra stuff, so that should help it. Matt was saying he remembered one year when Daddy was still alive taking a whole load of stuff, compost down there.
Yeah, I went and got it and had them loaded on a trailer and backed the trailer in there and shoveled it off. And I remember him telling me he sure wished he could help me. Because, you know, always back in the day he'd be right in there with you, but he just wasn't able, and I told him to sit down nowhere and don't worry about it, I'll get it.
Yeah.
But that bothered him horrible. Anytime you had to go do something that he had always done himself, I mean, you could just see the anguish on his face. It bothered him terribly.
Yeah, he'd always been
And he didn't want to ask you to do it. But, you know, anything needed doing, of course, I never cared a bit to do anything like that for him. But he just didn't want to ask nobody.
He'd been used to doing making his own way since he was a youngster, and just hated to not be able to do it.
And I'm certain I'm going to be the same way.
Yeah.
I'll probably be hard to live with.
You might-
As if I'm not hard to live with now, but it might
You
be
took the
harder.
words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. For many years, we didn't have that little garden area at Granny's for really until when did he start doing stuff there?
It was after me and him quit working together, I believe, because he was there and had time to do it. So that would have been,
Yeah.
gosh, that was a long time ago. That would have been, golly, 15, 18 years ago.
It's not very big now, but when he first started it, he just put like maybe a little, it was in that upper part, put some cabbage there or something, and then it just got bigger each year. Each year they'd till a little bit more and enrich the soil a little bit more, and then it got to where he grew, thinking about squash and cucumbers and tomatoes and stuff at his house up there, and we did that up here. And then the big garden, we just all used it for just the beans and the corn and the taters the years that we planted potatoes. But everything else we just kind of planted at our house. And of course mine and Matt's have increased over the years too. We barely had any to begin with. Had that little part up front.
Used to be 2 swing sets sitting right here where we're sitting. You know, I didn't think about it, but we're going to have more of that stuff.
Yeah, somebody is.
I don't know where we're going to put it.
Corey and Austin will have it down at their house, I guess. Yeah.
We ain't got nowhere to put stuff like that.
You got right there.
I'll just hang him a rope off of some of these cattle panels and he can do that.
I loved my swing set when I was a little girl. I loved it.
I don't ever recall having one.
Me and Paul both played on the one that we had a whole lot. I really loved it. I'd try to hang upside down on the bars, and I'm telling you, back then, just like anything else, they were made much sturdier than like the ones I'm sure they're even worse now, but the ones Katie and Corey had when they were little, they were not that sturdy. It's like you swing one time, just barely swinging, and it would come up on its legs.
Yeah, it'd rock with him.
Yeah, but
them old ones
those
was
old
spread
ones
out
were,
and they was heavy.
yeah.
It took 2 corn-fed men to get them around the house and set them up.
Yeah. I would hang upside down and be brave enough. I'd never do it now, but to swing and fall, and let your legs come off and land on your feet. I'd be scared to death to even think about it now.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Well, you didn't want me to go sledding. I survived that. I might survive the swing set. I'm not brave enough for that, though, anymore.
No, I don't. We ain't got one. Ain't never where one is, so I don't think it's going to be an issue.
At Martins Creek School, and used to when I was a girl, it's not there, of course. Now the school burnt down, and even after that, when they used it for a different type of school, so there was no little kids. Anyway, on the playground, there was like the playground stuff with the big swings like you used to have, you know, the great big metal ones. You could just swing so high, and those that the things would bounce with you or snap or whatever. Now some really brave people there boys would flip out of them. I was never that, but I loved to swing on those swings. They had like monkey bars, like a dome-shaped kind of monkey bars. You remember them? And of course a merry-go-round that everybody got hurt on. A big slide, and seesaws. And then then you went down a level, kind of below the playground, and then there was these bars down there that were like that, just like that you could chin up or something on. But there was like a small one, a big tall one, and then a medium-sized one.
Yeah.
And we played on those so much. Of course, you were really strong on that first one if you could pull yourself up and go backwards like. But on that middle one, I didn't get on the biggest one as much, but all of us girls, we would, like, you're sitting on it with one knee kind of across it, and then go round and round and round and round and round. I'd be terrified to do that now, but we loved it. It was so fun. That was like one of our favorite places to play.
Every young'un gets hurt on a merry-go-round.
Oh yeah, you
I
can
got mangled on one.
And if you grew up at a school they had them like that, like those old ones, you can remember like the horror of the person that got hurt the worst.
Yeah.
Like I remember the girl, she was in my class, that hurt her leg really bad, got it cut bad, it went up under it somehow, I don't know. You can remember the horror of and all through the school, the talk of the blood and the whatever it was going on. Yeah.
I got hurt pretty bad on one at the rec park in town. And, I mean, I should have been to the hospital and getting sewed up, but I didn't. I tried to hide it so nobody wouldn't see it. It was one of them that, you know, had the multiple sets of bars, handlebars around it, and one of those was missing. So we'd get the thing spinning and then try to jump through that gap where that was missing while it was spinning wide open. And right in the middle on the floor where the hub was that it spun on, the hub was covered by some kind of like a little 18 gauge metal cap with the company name on it, and somehow or another somebody had, there's a piece of that pried up, just like a knife edge sticking up. And it was pretty well lined up with that opening, and then, of course none of us I don't even remember seeing it, but if I did, it wouldn't have mattered. I run and jumped on that thing and got tripped up and slid into that piece of metal with my kneecap.
Oh.
And it literally cut to the bone, all the way to the kneecap bone. I reckon whatever's in there stopped it, and it bled. It was horrible. Everybody had scared all the other youngins. And this was back in the days when there was no parents there, and I don't think I wasn't even staying at home. I was at my grandma's, and I had to walk across town with all that blood on me. And I was trying to, I don't remember what I was doing, it's so long ago, I was trying to keep it from bleeding, but it had bled all the way down in my sock and my shoes. And people were literally stopping to try to help me, wanting to know what happened and could they help me, because I was just leaving a blood trail all the way across town. And I told them no, I was all right. And got to my grandma's, and I knew she would stroke out if she saw that. And right before I went in, I can't remember, I found something or got something and wiped that up real good, and then just went through the house pretty quick where she wouldn't see it, and got to the bathroom where I could try to get it bandaged up and stopped. And at some point somebody seen it. I don't remember, it was some days later, and it was bad. You could literally see, I can remember seeing I could see the fat layer of my, what's underneath your skin. And then once they saw it, I mean, it was at that point, they wanted to take me to the doctor, and I just pitched such a fit, you know how I am.
Yeah.
It was even worse then. At that point, it was just peroxide and bandages and keep it clean for weeks until it began to go back together. And I've got a big scar across there now. But it was, what I remember vividly the most about that is walking through town and cars literally pulling up and stopping and getting out,
Asking you if you're okay.
won't know what's wrong with me because there's just so much blood down my
And you're like, I'm okay. And just
Yeah.
keep walking.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. And they just had this horror look on their face.
I remember like you were talking about the boys pushing it like that. Now, during the school day, teachers were there to make sure, try to keep everybody from getting hurt. People still got hurt, but I spent so much time there after school because of Steve playing ball, and there was a ball field there. And so then, especially like us, the kids, siblings of the ball players or whoever kids at the ball games, we would be up there playing. And then sometimes some of the bigger boys, like Steve's age, and he's 5 years older than me, so bigger boys would come and they'd tell you to hold on tight, and then they'd just push and push and push and push, and you'd just be flying around through there. Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I mean, I wouldn't be afraid of any of that now, but that around and around would make me sick.
Oh, I know.
I can't
yeah.
stand the
Well, that's
thoughts
what
of
I'd
that.
like, me twisting around and
Yeah.
around on one leg. I'm like, how did I do that and not get sick?
Yeah, I'd have some kind of vertigo attack and just go down and start puking, I reckon.
I got hurt on the playground one time, like you're talking about, and tried not to show nobody. I was in first grade, and we were just playing, and those first graders wasn't allowed to go to that second part, so we were on that top part. I don't know if we were swinging or walking around or what we were doing, but Ralph Abernathy was our janitor, and he was mowing, and he was just driving by to go down there to those fields and mow. He wasn't mowing there, but somehow the lawnmower threw up a rock. You know, he didn't even realize it. He just kept going, and it hit me. I still have a scar right here on my arm right there, and it just immediately hurt, but it immediately started bleeding. But I was so backward, I didn't want nobody to know, so I like put my hand over it like this. Woo! There's a big wind. There goes a bucket down the road. Anyway, I put my hand over my arm, and of course it just started bleeding through my finger, so I'm mad. I thought I got to go clean it up before anybody sees it. And I went back in the first grade building there, said I had to go to the bathroom, and I went in the bathroom, but 2 students was having to stay inside. They couldn't go outside and play. I don't know what they had done to get in trouble, but as soon as they seen it, they went and told on me. If they hadn't been in there, I probably got away with it. But I can still remember Miss Reeves, dear sweet lady. She was my teacher, a really good one, and I love that she got to teach Corey too. Anyway, but I can still see her looking at me saying, "Oh no, why did you not tell me? What is wrong?" You know, and I was like, started crying then. But she took me to the big building where the upper grades was. That's where the office was and where all the like first aid kind of stuff is, and cleaned it up. And I don't remember if she called Mama, or it was just so different in those days, you know, or she just bandaged it up good and sent me home. She probably called, and they probably said, "It's if you think it's okay, you know, it's fine. We won't come get her," or whatever.
Now, they ain't no such as
But
that now.
no, not now. But I have a scar. It's like a scar and then another. It like cut, and then it's like it cut 2 little places or something. Anyway, but he didn't even realize anything had happened. Of course, he didn't do it on purpose or nothing like that. Good old Ralph. But anyway, so
So we were gardening. How are we talking about playgrounds?
I don't know about playgrounds and stuff. I don't know. I do want to talk about, back to the garden though, about I said I had to cut my annual cutting back of the honeysuckle. Nobody planted that there. It's just wild. Over the years, it has grew. I mean, it's been growing since you've been here, right? And one year, Granny had like a little ornamental tree there, and it had grew all in it, where it was just smothering it. You remember that?
They choked it up and killed
Choked it out. But I'm so glad, for lots of reasons, for the blind pig and the acorn and all the people I've met, and it's enriched my life. But I'm also glad because I can think I wrote about that, and I can go back and look. So I did. So I want to tell you about the honeysuckle. I have like a love-hate relationship with it, because when it blooms, oh my goodness, it smells so good. It perfumes the whole area. And of course, we like to get the little, what do you call those, little stamens or whatever, and lick the honey off of them. But anyway, so I went back on the blind pig and the acorn, and that was in 2011 so let me read about it here. Yesterday, it was March 20th, 2011, so later than we are today here. Yesterday, we helped Granny and Pap get the garden at their house ready for planting. There was tilling, there was brush cutting, there was visiting, there was flower looking, so the daffodils were already blooming that year. And there was fried potatoes, cornbread, black-eyed peas, and ham for dinner. It was a pretty good day.
Mercy.
Sounds like a good day. And then I've got a picture of, I'll try to put the pictures in here if I can have them still from that, of the fried taters, or I'll just link to the blog post and you can go read it. This is another part of it though. Let's see. Yeah, that was the same year. I'm confusing myself because I went to a post where I'm talking about that post. But anyway, earlier this year, as we helped Granny and Pap get started on the garden at their house, one of the projects was to pull the honeysuckle from Granny's tree. They pulled, they sawed, and finally, do you remember this? They tied one end of a rope around a big chunk of it and the other end to the back of the deer hunter's truck. When he laid the gas to it, for a moment it seemed the whole tree would come down. But the honeysuckle gave up its hold on the tree, and down the road it went behind the truck. It was just like a big ball of stuff going down through there. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
I thought, oh no, what if he got all the honeysuckle? See, I didn't want to miss that feeling I get every year when the honeysuckle around Pap's house blooms. I stand still and give the air a good sniff like a hound dog, and as I look at the blooms and smell the sweet scent, I just know the world will be okay one way or another. How could it not be in the face of honeysuckle? Because it is so, I mean, just the smell, it's just wonderful. Mm-hmm. And the memories of being a child and, you know, licking the little bits of honey. But it's awful aggravating, too.
It is, because it wants to grow up and creep over the border of her little garden spot, and then it grows right out in there where you're trying to till, and then it gets wound up around the tiller tines and makes a mess.
So every year I get in there, it's usually me that does it and attack it and try to beat it back a little bit. And I'll be doing it next year.
I've done it one year. I remember doing it myself. I don't remember when that was, but I remember being in there chopping and cutting on what you was doing.
And you could, you know, the best thing would be to remove it all. But my goodness, that would be hard. And you can see that was 2011. We've been working on removing it for a long time.
We ain't doing too good.
It's almost impossible to remove because it goes by runners, and it's once it, like if the little vine lays down on the ground, like Matt's saying, it grows up into that garden, then it roots under that, and then there you are. You got a new plant.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful all at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
The
It smells
smell
good.
is just wonderful, and then I'm already wanting to teach Ira and Woodrow how to get the honey off out of it. It's not really honey, but that's what we always called it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just nectar, I guess.
Got one little drop on the end of that little,
Yeah.
whatever that is,
Yeah.
and I remember doing that when I was little.
So many things like that we'll want to teach them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Getting out and getting in the dirt and in the creek and all that stuff, that's the best thing that a little boy can possibly do, and little girls too. But them little boys is going to get taught all about that stuff. I'm looking forward to that.
I wish there was a school here that had those big giant swings. I'd like to go and, I mean, when they're bigger, not now, but teach them to swing on those and pump their little legs.
We're building a big tire swing back here in the woods.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd love that.
Yeah.
Well, what you got to do the rest of the day?
I don't know.
I'm going to go in and I'm going to...
I know I'm going to eat something, because I'm absolutely come unfed, starved to death.
I fed Matt oatmeal for breakfast, and I don't think it stuck with him very well.
Well, I've been I don't believe I've even told you the last 2, 3, 4 days, kind of cleaning up my
Your diet?
junkyard eating that I've always done,
Have you?
and I'm starved to death. I ain't been eating between meals, and then what meals I'm eating is pretty decent. Hadn't had no junk or sugar or none of that stuff, and I'm just about trembling. I'm so hungry.
You're going to have to get you some red meat or something?
I'm going to have something. I am hungry.
Well, I'm going to go start cooking, but you can't eat none of what I'm cooking, sorry.
I just have to watch and smell.
I'm going to start on Granny's birthday dinner that we're going to have tomorrow. So I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the potato salad for sure. Let it marry, and then maybe I might even go ahead and do the rolls, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about them tomorrow. Matt's gonna probably do the ham for me, and you're gonna make a deer ham. You put that on tonight. Granny's gonna bring her own green beans, which is okay with us because they're
Golly,
good.
that's the best green beans in this universe,
And
and I don't know how I can't even come close to
Well,
how
it's
good
just-
hers are, and I wish I could, but I can't.
And she does hers just like we do. There's
I
no
know.
there's no secret.
I know, but hers is just so much better.
And my niece April's gonna bring corn. We're gonna have a feast. Anyways, I'm telling you all this, making you hungrier, ain't I?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to chase something down and kill it and eat it. I'm hungry.
Well, I guess we'll go in, find you something to eat, and I'll get started on cooking. I'd like to stay outside the rest of the day and play in the dirt, but
What I'm gonna do is build a new lanyard and lineman belt stuff for my safety harness for hunting. So I'll have all that done and put up and ready for fall.
well, that's good.
I've
You'll be
switched
ahead
out.
of the game.
I've totally got rid of and switched out what kind of safety harness I'm using. I'm trying something totally different, so I'm gonna,
Work on that.
instead of buying the ropes and lanyards and stuff, I'm making them and making them to suit myself. So, and it is making them out of climbing grade rope. So
Well, that sounds pretty neat.
yeah, I'm gonna piddle with that some.
It'll be good.
Mhm.
Well, we're always grateful when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia, and we hope you'll keep dropping by so you can see if hopefully Granny's garden will do way better than it did last year,
Yeah.
because it just was a total flop pretty much with the lack of rain, and I don't know, somehow it just didn't do good as it usually does. So we're hopeful. Well, and the deer damaged it. So we've got the deer alarms ready and waiting to put out, but we won't put them out yet, but we will. None of us have seen deer though recently.
No, not they this time of year. They ain't not coming out into the edges of the yards and stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll see them about the time it starts getting good and green. They'll start coming around checking things out and seeing if we've got any corn planted for them to eat.
Well, we're gonna have our deer alarms. We're gonna hope they work like they did last year. And you keep coming by and you can see if they work or not.